Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're doing a buyer's guide on the Astra VXR today. It's a 2005, it's an early model. These cars are getting on for around 18 years old now, so I'm going to show you guys what to look for. When they came out, they were known to be a bit leery, so 2-litre turbo, 240 horsepower, 6-speed, front wheel drive, no limited slip diff or anything like that. But still a lot of fun. I mean, I drove these a few years back and they've aged quite well, to be honest. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to go through just over the areas that you need to check. The engine in here is known as a Z20LEH. Guys, so you can see the seats, they're heavily bolstered, yeah? So although this one's on a bit of mileage, they're always going to go here. And you can see, just from how bolstered it is, it's a natural thing. Of course you're going to get that. The steering wheel is a little bit thicker in these, and the sport button here, what that does on these is makes the throttle a bit sharper, and it also adds a bit more weight to the steering wheel as well. And one of the most important things that we need to check, these cars come with what's known as the M32 gearbox, and a really good way of checking it, if there's any wear in the bearings or anything like this, is what you need to do is get in, put it in first gear, leave the handbrake up, and as you raise the clutch, we shouldn't see that move. Yeah, so this one's really good. If this moved back a little bit, that bearing is shared for first and sixth, and you know that the bearing is on its way out, so that's definitely something you need to look out for. Unfortunately, when Vauxhall put the gearbox in, they only designed it for 240 pounds of torque, which is pretty much on the limit. For these, I think again it's heavy on suspension, so you want to check, like you would any other car really, that the tread wear is even across the board, because that points to any suspension damage. One other thing, we just started it from cold, yeah? Now these engines are known for the valve stem seals going, so this one is absolutely fine at the moment, but I'm aware that when this is warmed up, this is smoking, so it's more than likely going to need a turbo. But if it was smoking from cold right now, then it would be the valve stem seals where the oil's kind of sat there overnight, and as soon as you start it up, it starts burning. Again, bodywork wise, it's a case of like there's some lack appeal and things on the body here and the bonnet, but this is just age related. It's not really VXR specific. I mean, obviously if it was red, you want to make sure that the colour's still there. Let's pop the bonnet and have a little look as well. So you just want to check the obvious, if there's any oil leaks or anything like that. The cam covers, this goes back to the days of the C20XE. Anyone that loves Vauxhall will know they were known for weeping cam cover gaskets, and this is no different as well. So Vauxhall seem to have not cracked that. Generally you want to now, with the age of these cars, you do want to check that these hoses, all boost pipes and everything, they're not cracked or perished or anything like that, only just purely from an age point of view. And you want to try and go for something original. Like a lot of these cars, they've been remapped, they've got front mounted intercoolers that are bigger than standard, they've got kind of induction kits. This one's completely stock, even the wheels are stock, and these are the optional 19-inch alloys as well. The 18-inch ones, the car drives a lot better, but they're a lot harder to find because a lot of people in the UK especially did spec the 19-inch wheels. Guys, with any performance car, obviously you want to check the brake discs, that they don't have a lip, they're not warped. Obviously you'd find this out on a test drive, but just looking at the car while it's parked up, these are kind of telltale signs. Me, when I'm buying any car, or particularly a high performance car, obviously I like all the tyres and things to match, because that gives you an indication of how well the car's been looked after. Again, not VXR specific, but the headlights, they can start to actually oxidize normally here. These are actually in really good condition. I think it's likely they've probably been restored recently, but looks like a really good job done there. And guys, what I'll do, I'm going to let the car warm up, and obviously one of the other things, you can just see here, it's got a really nice you know, front bumper, and the style's really nice, but unfortunately it picks up loads of stone chips, and it's very likely you're going to get damage on. It's very likely you're going to get damage on the bumper. There is a little bit here. I don't think you can really see it on the camera there. That's just where it hits the road humps and things. It's all pretty standard stuff, and you know, my advice is obviously buy the best you can. I don't think mileage is that important anymore because the cars have gone past that stage, and you want to start buying on the condition. You want to make sure, as with any Vauxhall really of this era, that it's not rusting. This one's pretty clean. You can see that. The only modification on this is the exhaust. Like I said, I'm just waiting for it to warm up, and you'll see that it does start to smoke a little. So this one will need a turbo quite soon. Guys, so a neat little trick, yeah. Just obviously this ain't as good as having a bespoke diagnostic put on the car. Nothing will beat that. But what you do is, this is for any Astra H, by the way. I'm not sure if it works on any of the other Vauxhalls. But foot on the brake, foot on the accelerator, then put the ignition on, and you'll see any fault codes come up. There we go. So we had one on there. So when you're going to see a car, obviously something like this on the Astra H, you can take advantage of it and see what those fault codes are there. And then unless the owner lets you put, you know, a simple diagnostic on, which you can get loads, you can get like the Torque app and so on and so forth. Another thing to look out for, it's really hard to see on camera, but you really want to check the inside of the back wheels, because if the hubs are worn, or the bushes, that's where it will go on the insides. Right guys, and the final thing I'll say is just in terms of the cam belt. Vauxhall actually recommend 60 or 80,000 miles, but I wouldn't recommend that. This one's just had it all done with the cam belt kit, so it's got kind of all the tensions, everything changed on it as well, and that's something you really want to do. You don't want that to fail at all. I'm just going to see if I'll give it a little rev just to show you what it sounds like. This has actually got a Magnex exhaust on it, so other than that it is stock. Guys, so you can see a little bit of smoke actually coming out now. So yeah, this one's definitely burning some oil, which I think it's only doing it when it's warm, so it's got to be the turbos. Like with anything, you want to check there isn't any oil and water mixing, because head gaskets at this age can be quite common if the car's done short journeys and things like that. And obviously you want to check the water bottle, that there isn't any oil spots or anything, and you know, it's not kind of pressurizing or anything, because that will indicate that head gasket is potentially on its way out, as would any white smoke out the back as well. Guys, so that's it. Quick, short, sharp video. This car's off the road at the moment. Once it's out on the road, I will take it for a drive. We'll do a review on it, see what it drives like. It's got good tyres on it. It's you know, in relative mechanically it's good. I know it needs a bit of a tidy up, but I've driven it before. It drives really well, so we'll definitely take it for a spin sometime. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, share with your family and friends, and I'll see you in the next video.
You